Hey guys, what's up? Wanted to come on for a little while and chat with y'all um, about a few things and visit a little bit about part 13. I don't have too much time tonight. I don't. I have literally probably about 10 minutes. I have some stuff that I have to take care of. Have to work basically a double, so I'm not going to have much time. I didn't find out till about 2 minutes ago, right before I'd already lit the fire and sat down, and then I found out. So I'm gonna kind of go as quickly as I can on it. But I want to touch base on something else real quick first, about Steph, the new missing 28-year-old female there in Tenerife, that was at the same resort hotel thing that I guess Jay and them were staying at, the same area. Something sounds a little fishy about this because they're saying she's been missing 8 days, but they didn't report her missing until the 18th when she didn't board her flight. That she had her suitcase and she had her purse, but she didn't have her phone. Like, some of this is just not adding up. So I don't know. And I don't know what they went over there for, if it's just vacation or what, but trigger warning, guys. Times 100 million on this too. But something just doesn't add up about that. And then there's another guy, I think, named Peter, been missing there for 5 days. So are these two tied together, or is it just two separate people in the same area? Or it's just weird. I'm going to try to get some more information tonight on it, and I'll update everybody in the morning on it. But it goes to the theory of the Jay Slater thing, right? Like, this island has a lot of bad problems, and especially with people missing. Like, here in America, we think Tennessee has a lot of missing people. No, Tenerife has way more. And it's like none of them ever get found. And it's crazy. I don't know, with their little island, how can you not find people? Like, doesn't make sense. And just something doesn't sound right about it. I don't know what it is, but something doesn't sound right. And anytime there's an argument or a fight and somebody walks out, I'm guessing they have everything on CCTV, but something doesn't add up. Like, why would she take everything but her phone? That don't make no sense. That's kind of backwards. But you'd take your phone usually before you'd take your suitcase, right? I mean, I don't know. People nowadays, they don't go nowhere without their phones. But anyway, guys, allegedly these are my opinions, my thoughts, my theories, my speculation, not to reflect on the channel. It's all alleged. Y'all's opinion, y'all's comments alone, not to reflect on the channel. We do our research together. Appreciate all the emails I got today for some of this information. And I haven't had a chance to break it all down or even do it yet because I've been busy all day. But I've been posting a lot of old videos today searching for Sebastian Rogers. That's a bunch that I did during Thanksgiving time. I've been trying to drop them and get most of them out while I'm working, because it's hard for me to do videos, on a drilling rig. So I have to kind of do it, when I'll get off. But that's why I try to go through and just pop some of the old ones out so y'all to look at and watch. And I brought up a new case today, the Caleb Harris case, guys. And this is another one that a young 21-year-old vanished in thin air pretty much, and then was found at a pumping station in Corpus Christi, Texas. And there's never been justice for him either. And I feel that there's a lot of this. We just don't cover them all, right? But there is a lot of it, an awful lot of it. And coming to Jay Slater case, I kind of wanted to just go over pretty much. I did the little one today a little longer than normal on sneak peeks, but I wanted to kind of lay down what I was going to kind of talk about tonight. I didn't know. I thought I would have more time, but I almost wasn't able to do it at all because I really need to be getting my stuff together and showering and eating. But I'm going to do this real quick for y'all because I wanted to go over the fingerprint thing again, because this is one of the main reasons that's bugged me the whole entire case, right? I had a feeling, I had a hunch that when they found that body, right, they were going to automatically say it was him, no matter what. No, this island has history of doing this, and that's why I thought it would. I pretty much knew it was going to come out right away. And then they act like, oh, well, we got to do this, that, and that's fine. I knew that they were going to post that out. And what shocked me was the way the clothes were found. the cell phone was found, everything was pretty relatively close to the body. So one thing that really bothered me was if you fall from that height and say you had your cell phone in your hand, it's not going to be that close to you. It's probably going to have gotten stuck somewhere and not have even made it down to the bottom, most likely. Unless when it went out, if you fell and it went out, right? Or if you were pushing it went out, you're still not going to hold whatever's in your hand. You're going to let it go. And so that's why I felt like all that was planted there, no matter what. It was planted. And that's what all those dogs were that night. I really do believe it was planted there. I don't think it ever happened right there. I thought it always happened somewhere else, probably at that Airbnb rental or somewhere in the town before it, in the little village before it, if he did get out of that car. But there's just so many things that bother me about it, because when you have experts telling you something and they do their research on it and they dig and find all the temperatures for all those 29 days and they come up with what in their profession, when they come up with what they tell me, and they tell me no more than 11 to 15 days, they would have been able to lift the print. Not without doing extensive, putting them in fluids, like I think it was like some kind of hide stuff, chemical. I don't remember exactly. It was big words, but. And then they soak them in there for weeks to kind of re-fluid and rebuild. But like he said, you can do that if it's a dry climate. Like if it's hot all the time, like where it just dries out, like it's laying out in the sun, it'll just dry out and shrink up, right? But if it's in an area that's some shaded in the afternoons and it's cooler in the afternoons, it's pretty much after 29 days, there's going to be nothing there to print. So that's why I don't know how they made this, why they put that out, that they were able to fingerprint. I really don't. Unless one of the hands was just in the right place and it was constantly in a dry location that never got moisture and never got really cold at night. But according to the temperatures, 18, 16, 21, 14 at night, that's I don't believe that it would have worked, right, on those nights. Some cloudy, some not. I mean, I think it was one day maybe of rain. I'd have to go back and look at all the days and see out of those 29 days. But I know the weather was not unfavorable for fingerprints, according to my research and my guys' research. And I trust them. They do a lot for me. I trust them. But it's so hard to understand, like, how they could make that guess so fast, right? I call it a guess because I don't believe that they were able to do it. And I know the clothes and everything matched. Of course, the ID was found on him, some kind of ID, I think. And that was recorded as on there. That was turned over to the family, I'm sure. So those things that were recovered from there did pretty much prove that it was him, but I don't believe the fingerprint proved that it was him. I just don't think so. Not unless it took a few months. And to really identify. I don't think it took that long, but it's hard. It's hard to understand, and I don't understand a lot of that. That's why I use other people that do understand it. And I know that there was one other gentleman that was over there that knew a little bit about it as well, that said after 2 weeks or something, 12 days or something, you wouldn't have been able to. So he knows the weather better than me over there. So it's kind of about the same. My guy said 11 to 15. He said 12. It's about in the same ballpark. At 29, no, because that's liquid form. There's just no way out in the element like that. Now, if you're in a cooler or freezer or something, of course, after 29, yes. If you're basically laid out in the desert, like in Phoenix, Arizona, and there's no shade, yeah, you'll be able to. It'll take about 50. It probably lasts about 50 days in the summer like that, because you will basically just shrivel up and dry up. And then they can just re-soak you in fluids and re-swell it out to normal size and get them that way. But not at liquid stage at 29 days outdoors, hot and cold like that. The change in difference, the temperature changed drastically from night to day there. And that's what makes me believe that no, it wasn't doable. But then again, I'm not a doctor, so these are just what my guys gathered, and I trust them. So it's kind of their opinion, my opinion. That's about it, right? I'm not a doctor. I can't say for sure. So I don't want to say that for sure because I don't know, but I can go by what the weather was and pretty much read in my mind that no way, right? But I just still wonder how he got there. That's the whole thing that we have to solve is how did he get there to that area? Did he really walk? Did he really leave that place? Did he really try to? You know, we know he didn't walk the ridge line like I think they're trying to show he did. He had to have gone lower because no way he would have been able to tiptoe across the top of that. He wasn't Mary Poppins. That wasn't going to happen. If you followed the trail, yes, but if he jumped over to the other side, that could be kind of the only way he would get to where he was. And so I don't know if he would have backtracked and went back around like that. I really don't. I don't believe that he fell from there anyway. I really don't. But it is possible. But I just, with the flat area that like where the dog is standing right above it, and that flat area where the dirt and rocks are, I mean, there's plenty of room to lay down even right there. Like, there's no way you're just going to walk over that edge in the daytime. It's not going to happen. Your brain's not going to allow you to do that. And not unless you have another opinion in your head. And I don't think that was it. I just firmly believe whatever happened that night right after that club. And I do think it was Saturday. And I think they used Sunday to cover it up. And that's how they kind of got everything the way they did. And then tried to figure out their game plan from there, right? But that's how they were able to do all the phone and all that stuff, because I guarantee you those screenshots and stuff don't have no times on them. They didn't turn in no time with those. They just probably showed it. Look, well, see, like, you know, and it's the same as, you know, she told the people in the media people that she called, that he called at 8 and she called him back at 8. Well, then kind of find out they rang the buzzer at 8 and Jay was supposed to still be at the Airbnb at 8. So how in the world was that possible? He wasn't even out there walking around yet. So none of their timestamps matched up anyway. We know that. And that's what makes me think it was previously. But it still sticks in my head with fingerprints. I just don't see how they did it. And I know I'm sure they wanted it to be to get this over with because they were probably so tired of all the social media and all the craziness going on down there and people showing up and looking everywhere and asking 100 million questions. And that was just that many more people they had to silence, right? That was that many more people they had to tell, you can't talk, you can't talk. If anybody comes, you can't talk. They had to constantly remind these people they couldn't talk, I'm sure, like all the people that worked there and the shops there, because they didn't want anybody talking to anybody. And that came from the parents, too, so I know that they weren't wanting to talk to people. Plus, some of the guys that tried to do interviews there, nobody would talk. Nobody would explain anything to them. And they couldn't even talk about it. And that's what's crazy to me. And I don't know if they were trying to keep things on the hush for the cover-up or to keep things on the hush so they didn't damage their reputation on the island as far as tourists and money, right? But it goes to show you, if you continue to look at how many people are missing there, so many, right? 27 in just 2 years before Jay. And then overall, 58, I think, or 59 over the last 15 years. And then here you got another 2 or 3 right now that are. So this is a reoccurring pattern. It's not something that just randomly happens every once a summer. Or, I mean, they have more people missing than shark attacks in the entire world in a summer. And it's crazy that there's that many on that little island. It's not that big of an island. Not to have that many people missing, guys. But I just feel that something's not adding up on this end of it. And I was going to get into some of the other stuff tonight, but I don't have the time. I'm sorry for that, guys. I really am. I know it sucks, but I have to go back to work, so I don't have the time to do it tonight. I'm a little over right now what I was going to do, so I am, wanting to get into a lot more details of why I feel like the clothes were not on him. I know they said they made if you go read it, they put out, their law enforcement put out that due to the extent of the fall, the clothes could come off, but I don't see that. People go bungee jumping and skydiving and stuff all the time, bungee jumping, they don't lose their shirt. I mean, it's not going to happen. I mean, yeah, if anything, it's especially when you break bones, it's not going to fly off because now you have things moving in different ways. There's no way it's going to fall off. Not a shirt, shorts, and everything is not going to come off and lay beside you 3 feet perfectly folded almost. Not going to happen. But yes, as far as from what I was told by my source, that the phone was found near him, the cell phone, but that it was wiped clean. There was nothing in the cell phone. And I don't know if that's due to weather, that's due to the fall, that's due to it being thrown off, or whatever it may have been. I don't know if that's what caused it to be wiped out, but supposedly there was nothing on the phone. But it was his phone, from what, my guys could gather. It was his phone. But I don't know, I'd heard it was one found on the beach or something, but supposedly, according to Ellie and all the Popo and everybody, the phone was found with Jay. And of course, after 29 days, they ain't had no battery anyway. But so that's another one. That 1% battery thing always got me, because I know iPhones, they don't run on 1%. Try it. It's gonna usually cut off at 3. It's gonna show you 3%. It's gonna be flat, and then it's gonna just shut off. I don't think you'll ever even see 2%. You might see 1% if you try to turn it back on, but it's gonna go right back off. It's not gonna stay on. You're not gonna be able to use it for 30, 40. Now they're saying 8 a.m. to 8:50. And then he still made a call. So there's, 1%, no way it's going to go an hour. Seconds maybe, but not an hour. Especially not a FaceTime call. That would never happen with 1%. No way you couldn't even call a FaceTime number with 1%. It won't even ring. That's insane to even come up with that idea. And I think they tried to cover and say, oh, he didn't have no battery. I don't think she meant to say 1%. I think it just slipped, but I think that she didn't think about it when she said it, the repercussions of what was going to happen, with 1%. Even law enforcement know an iPhone's not going to run on 1%, especially not for 45 minutes. It's never going to happen. I don't care if you powered it off, it's still not going to happen. You're never going to be able to power it back on until you plug it into a charger, and then it's going to come up red, and then you got to wait for about 5 minutes before you can even get back on it at 1%. It's not going to even power back up all the way. So we know that's a lie too. But there's plenty of lies, right? We know that. But I am going to check some of these emails and go back through and try to vet some of this stuff that I'm being sent. I appreciate y'all sending me things. I will check it out tonight when I'm at work, but I'm not going to have the time. I'll have the time once I'm at work to do it, but I work about an hour from my hometown, so I have to drive an hour to work. So I don't have much time. I just got home a little earlier, now I got to go back, so not going to have the time tonight, but I will try to break down some of the emails tonight, and then I'll hop back on tomorrow. I'll probably do like a 14, instead of a sneak peek, I'll probably just do 14 tomorrow during the day while I'm off, and instead of the night, probably just try to do it to get it done for y'all. And then that way I can get more of this information I wanted to get out, because here I am almost 20 minutes and I was only going to do 10. So I enjoy talking about this. I think the knowledge needs to be out, right? Justice for Jay Slater needs to be, just like justice for everyone needs to be. And now we got a new one, a 28-year-old Steph over there missing. That we're going to need to jump on that right away and find out if something's fishy about this too, right, guys? So y'all start digging on that for me and see what you can find, because there's nothing that I'm seeing. And they didn't even give her full name, just Steph, that's it. They didn't give us her eye color, they didn't give us her weight, they just gave us height, hair color, age, and a Steph. And that she had a fluffy purse and a suitcase. And no cell phone. That's all we know. And that's not enough, considering she's been missing, they're saying 8 days. That's not enough information for somebody missing 8 days. It's just not. Look at Jay Slater at 8 days. There was already freaking hundreds of thousands of people trying to help. So it's they need to have more information out. They really do. Unless that's another one that, who knows? She might be found in a ravine too. I hate to say that, but this island is just weird to me. Too many people are going missing there, and too much stuff is going on, and somebody's got to get to the bottom of it, right? And any one person just gotta have to dig enough to get there. But I do got a lot of data I wanted to go or not. I can't yet, but I don't have my notebook either. It's in the truck, but I will do it tomorrow for y'all. I'm gonna put the rest of 13 on to 14 and do one big one. And that way I can get finished what I was going to do tonight with my notes and give y'all all the dates and all that good stuff that I had today. And I just don't have time right now. But I'm going to get off because it's 20 minutes right now. But I'm sorry for the shortness tonight, but I will come back tomorrow and finish off, and then we'll do 14 and the rest of the 13 tomorrow, guys. But I'm sorry, I got to work. It's the holidays, and I got to work. But keep your prayers up for all the missing. Keep your prayers up for Jay Slater. We got to get justice. We got to get justice for a lot of these. Let's pray for this little Steph girl and see if we can't get this little woman found. Hurry up and get her found before something bad happens. And y'all be safe. Be good. I love y'all. Sorry to cut y'all short tonight, but I'll make up for it tomorrow. Y'all be good. Y'all be safe. And remember, allegedly, these are just my opinion, my free speech. And trigger warning. And we'll talk tomorrow, guys. All right? Sorry. I got to go early, but got to go to work. All right, guys. We'll talk soon. Bye.